Hello dear students, today we will discuss topic angina pectoris. Subject is pathophysiology. Contents I am going to cover definition of angina pectoris, its types, causes and risk factors, symptoms and diagnosis of angina pectoris. Angina pectoris is a chest pain due to an inadequate supply of oxygen to the heart muscles. The pain is typically severe and crushing, and it is characterized by a feeling of pressure and suffocation just behind the breastbone. Angina can accompany or be a precursor of a heart attack. Angina is actually three types. I'm discussing about types of angina, and it is categorized in three. Actually, it is three types. First one is stable angina or typical angina. Second, unstable angina, and third one is variant angina, also known as vasospastic or prismatic angina. In a stable angina, this is chronic narrowing of coronary artery due to atherosclerosis. Tissue become ischemic, particularly during times of increased oxygen demand. It generally observed during physical exercise, large meal, emotional stress. This type of angina can be treated by medication like nitroglycerin. In case of unstable angina, it is caused by formation of clot, blood clot, or thrombus within a coronary artery. Symptoms are worse, severe pain, last longer, occur at rest, not relieved by even drug like nitroglycerin. Third one is variant angina or vasospastic angina. In this type of angina, it results from coronary vasospasm, which temporarily reduces coronary blood flow. Emotional stress, dysfunctional coronary vascular endothelium. These are various factors. Those are trigger this type of angina. This type of angina also observed during this type of angina occurs during night or during rest. Now, causes and risk factor. Plaque formation. Artery can narrow due to plaque deposit. If such type of plaque form, then the blood passes is narrows, and if blood supply is poor, then oxygen supply is also poor to the heart muscles or cardiac muscles. Next one is blockage due to atherosclerosis. Here, spasm in coronary artery, which also responsible for poor blood flow. Now, causes and risk factor. A person is at higher risk of developing angina if they have high blood sugar, high blood pressure, high level of cholesterol, especially low density lipoprotein, a history of heart disease, a sedentary lifestyle and stress, smoking, obesity, and age. All these are various factors, those are responsible for angina attack. Next one is symptoms of angina. In case of angina, patient feel like a heavy weight resting on chest. You can see here such type of feeling. Patients feel such type of weight during angina disease. Next one is pain start from heart and extend towards shoulders, jaw, upper abdomen, and in neck, chest, and whole body. Shortening of breath, nausea, fatigue. All these are symptoms of angina. Dizziness, profuse sweating, anxiety. Now, diagnosis of angina. First one is electrocardiogram. An electrocardiogram records electrical activity of heart. It records these electrical signals as they travel through patient heart. Next one is stress test. In a stress test, many times angina easily diagnosed when our heart is working harder. During a stress test, patient exercise by walking on a treadmill or paddling in stationary bicycle. During exercise, blood pressure monitored and ECG recorded. Next one is echocardiogram. You can see here. This is image for electrocardiogram. This is for stress test. Echocardiogram. In echocardiogram, sound waves are produces images of heart. Here we echo means sound. We use sound wave to image our to find out image of the heart, how our heart is working. Next one is coronary angiography. In coronary angiography, it uses X-ray imaging to observe the heart blood vessels conditions. Next one is MRI. In cardiac MRI, patient lie on a tunnel-like machine that produces detailed images of the heart structure and blood vessels. And in CT scan, in case of CT scan, uh, cardiac, it called cardiac computerized tomography. In this type of a scan, an X-ray tube inside the machine rotates around in our body and collect images of heart and chest, which can show if any of our heart's arteries are narrowed or if our heart is enlarged. So we discussed electrocardiogram, stress test, echocardiogram, chest X-ray. In case of chest X-ray, it utilizes X-ray to measure the size of heart situation and size of our lungs. We can measure through simple X-ray technique. We also discussed coronary angiography and MRI CT scan. Next one is progesterone emission topography, also known as nuclear stress test. It helped to measure blood flow of the blood flow of the heart muscles at rest and during stress. It means it's applicable in both condition, during rest as well as in stress condition. During this, a radioactive substance is injected into bloodstream, and we can measure any obstruction of coronary artery. Those are involved in blood supply to the cardiac muscle. Next one is blood test. In case of blood test, we measured low density lipoprotein level and also cardiac enzymes. As dead cardiac muscles cells are cardiac cells secrete some enzymes like cytokine, troponin, cytokine like enzymes, which we can detect through blood test. So diagnosis is completed. Thank you, students. In next video, we will discuss pathophysiology and treatment of angina pectoris. Thank you.